Hello, good morning, and welcome to Here Today, Where Tomorrow. My name is Madison, and in today's video, we are going to talk about my daddy's time at the Butcher's Cut Steakhouse on the MSC Seashore. Roll the intro!
Well, thank you for that lovely intro, Madison. Yes, my name is Rob, and welcome back to the channel. And today we are going to talk about Butcher's Cut. Now, if you're unfamiliar with cruising or new to cruising, most cruise lines have a steakhouse on board, and it is a upcharge or what we call a specialty dining option. MSC does things a little bit differently, where they have what's called a dining experience that you can purchase. Usually what that is, appetizer, entree, dessert. You get one of each from a select menu. So I will go ahead and throw the menu up here. It is a giant menu. I feel like a little kid holding such a very large menu. So we first went to the lounge, which is just outside of a lot of where the specialty dining is, and kind of waited for our turn to go ahead and go to the Butcher's Cut. Once we went to the Butcher's Cut, we said, hey, reservation for McNeil at this time. They said, come on, follow us. We walked right into the restaurant. We were sat right next to a window where there were a bunch of loungers directly outside the window. So yes, we could see the ocean, but to see the ocean, we had to look past a barrage of people laying out. And so it was less romantic, I guess you could say, but I guess that's the price you pay when you come for lunch. I'm sure at dinner or sunset, it would probably be a little bit nicer. But it was nice because we were out to sea. That was really, really cool. I will put a card up above, and I will link in the description to a playlist that includes everything that we did on the seashore, which is daily vlogs, ship tour, room tour, all of the specialty dining, and a deep dive and review of my time there. So I would suggest, if you have any more interest in checking out any of the other specialty dinings, or just really what we get up to on board the MSC Seashore, I would suggest checking out that playlist. Again, there will be a link in the description and a card right up here for you to check out. So I mentioned earlier the dining experience. One thing I don't like about the dining experience is if you don't know what you want, if you haven't looked at the menus beforehand, you may get to the Butcher's Steakhouse, and I will just use my experience, okay? I didn't know what I wanted when I went to the Butcher's Cut. And as I was looking over the menu, I discovered I would like to try the Bison Steak. The Bison Steak is not in the select limited menu of the dining experience. So if I had paid the $60 for the dining experience, I would not be able to get included the Bison Steak. Now, they do have an option where if you would like to buy something off the a la carte menu while using the dining experience, they will only charge you 50% of that item, which sounds good, except that you've already spent $60 and are now spending half of whatever that steak would cost, which at a steakhouse isn't going to be cheap. So you're not saving any money if you have to order outside of the select menu. There are some times where you can bundle the experiences. You can buy two of them and maybe get a discount. So maybe you go to Ocean Key, their seafood restaurant, which we'll cover later on in this series, or you want to go to the Butcher's Cut. You can kind of do, oh, I want to do both of these. You can do a 2 dining experience and get a little break percentage off when you purchase that, either before the sailing or on the first day of the cruise when you get on board. I don't really know what I'm going to be into in the moment. So unless I go onto those menus pre-cruise and discover that in those dining experiences, I really do want what's in that limited menu, I just think it's better to do the a la carte option. So that's what we chose to do. We started with this bacon cheddar biscuit, which was pretty good, a little dry. And then they had 2 different types of butter. Both were very mild. There was not a lot of that honey punch through like you would get at like a Texas Roadhouse or anything like that. It wasn't very strong in its flavor. It was very LaCroix-y, you know, just a hint of honey in that butter, but it was good nonetheless. And then I ordered the crab cakes, which again was not on the dining experience menu. So I kind of, right off the bat was off of the menu, which was fine for me. The crab cakes were good. They were a little bit more filler crab cake than crab. So I was a little disappointed in that. And then when it came to our entrees, I got the bison steak with the smoked mashed potatoes. The bison steak is kind of a leaner meat. It's bison, so it's not something you get every day. I really enjoyed it. There was a little bit of a tougher side to it, but it had a pretty mild and a little bit of a sweet flavor, which was really cool. And after ordering our food, I did ask about the sauces, because the last cruise that I had been on the Margaritaville at Sea Islander, when I did the Steakhouse, they told me I could have one singular sauce. And they had 3 to choose from. Here at the Butcher's Cut on MSC, they have 4 sauces and they all are included. So Margaritaville at Sea, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Give me all the sauces. I would like to try all the different sauces. So tip of the hat to MSC for not being so petty. I'm not sure where the pettiness comes from, why I can't have more than one sauce for my steak. Especially because that bison steak was pretty large. I think it was like a 13 or 16 ounce. I don't know, it was huge. But my wife's filet mignon was also very, very good. It was very melt in your mouth. And the smoked mashed potatoes and the mac and cheese were both very, very good. Now, the desserts didn't really speak to us on the menu, and of course we can always go up to the buffet and have as many, cups of ice cream and things that we want. So we did not do a dessert. But the food was very good. It was a nice ambiance. The room is a very large room. It can hold quite a few people, which was not the case at Ocean Key, which again, you'll see in a later video. Again, just like with Hola Tacos, which was the last video I did in this little series, the service was impeccable. The staff were right there at all times to fill the glass of water, to bring us anything we need. Overall, it was a great experience. If you were to only choose 1 or 2 of the specialty dinings, I probably would say Butcher's Cut is somewhere in the middle. I don't know that it is an absolute must-do, but it's definitely not the worst. The way I would rate it, out of the 5 specialty dinings that are on the seashore, I would probably put Butcher's Cut somewhere right in the middle. Not quite my favorite, but definitely not the worst. Now, that's all I have for you today. Like I said, I will have plenty of other videos here going over all of the specialty dining and all the fun on board. So again, check that playlist down below. And if you appreciate any of this information I have brought to you, I would love, and it would absolutely tickle my pickle, it would float my boat if you could subscribe to the channel. It helps out a ton. Go ahead, like, comment. Comments, engagement is super crucial right now. YouTube is doing a big push towards that. So if this helped you in any way, or if you're going on the MSC Seashore yourself, I would love to hear from you down in the comments below. I do really appreciate every bit of engagement I can get. It means the absolute world to me. So my name's Rob with Here Today, Where Tomorrow, and we will see you there.
If you like this video and want to see more, please head on over to the channel and subscribe. And if you want to get notified, ring that little bell. We upload new videos every week.